Coach Reiser, we're going to start with you for a couple questions. Coach, heading into 2012, what do you view as the areas of strength with your team?
I would say that we have a strong possibility of being very good defensively. We brought back a former Thiel graduate, Thiel alum, John Herrickle, who coached with us previously earlier in 2004, 2005, and went on and became an intern at Rutgers University, and now he's back with us, which we're ecstatic about. And we have a lot of leadership on the defensive side of the ball, including this guy sitting next to me, Julian McLean, Tim Taylor, Chris Tursky, Marshawn Hainsworth, guys that have played quite a bit over the last couple of years, got a lot of development, a lot of experience, and I think we have a very good chance of being very good defensively. From an offensive standpoint, our offensive line is coming together. Again, some guys that have played a lot over the last couple of years and are starting to come together and things like that. So we feel very good about those two areas of our football team.
You touched a little bit on John Herrickle, returning to Thiel's coaching staff as the program's defensive coordinator. How does the coordinator change affect your defense? Can you talk a little bit about what the new coordinator tried to do with his group during the spring practice opportunities with the Tomcats?
Well, John and our defensive coaches did a great job in the spring, really setting the tone with our defense of their expectations and what they wanted to try to accomplish. And I think our young kids bought into it. I think our older kids bought into it. We've already seen a lot of changes in them and their demeanor and their attitude and those types of things. And he's put down his philosophy of how he wants to play defense. And you know, it's been outstanding for us to this point. I expect it to continue through camp, and we're looking forward to getting after it in camp. And our offensive guys have better be ready, and I think they will be. And we'll have a good, spirited, physical camp like we always do, and get ready for our first game.
Coach, one more question before we hand it off to Julian. Tim Taylor's been a standout at Thiel since arriving on campus, and Tim, as we know, is entering his senior season. Can you talk a little bit about the leader he's become and how he might have evolved as a player over his 3 years at Thiel?
Tim's been a constant starter for us since he walked in on day one. He's been an outstanding young man. Last year he was nominated for the AFCA All-State Good Works team for his work off the field. He's a tremendous academic student, majoring in biology, hoping to go on to become a physician's assistant, things like that. So off the field, Tim leads by example, and I think our kids can look at him and the work that he puts in the academic classes and things. I think that has been his biggest gain and his greatest development off the field. On the field, Tim's one of those guys. He's kind of a split personality guy. As nice as he is off the field, he's more crazy on the field. And you know, he plays with a high motor. Again, it sets the tone for our defense. And our guys have rallied around him, and you know, he's done very good things for us. We expect big things from him this fall.
Thanks, Coach. Julian, we'll ask you a couple questions now. I've known you for a number of years, and I understand and have to believe you're unhappy with the way the last 2 seasons have gone. Personally, what are some things that you've learned from the last 2 years? And can you talk a little bit about the team's level of focus going into 2012?
Our focus for this year is basically winning our first game since we have a new stadium. And what I learned was that it's kind of hard to actually swallow losing so many games from the high school that I came from, but it's all been a learning experience for us.
Thiel's bringing back 8 starters on defense, and all of those players are older guys, juniors and seniors. Can you talk about the importance of chemistry with that group and how the experience factor plays in helping the defense improve?
Our chemistry, it has to be great, especially the defensive backs, because we all have to know how each other plays. Because I love playing defensive, and I love to hit people, and the other 3 guys got to do that so that we won't have a breakdown in coverage or give up any touchdown.
What are some goals that you have, the goals that you've set for yourself going into your junior season?
One of my first goals is to finish a full season, because my first 2 years I haven't finished a full season. And another goal would be to win the season opener for me.
Thanks. Coach, back to you. Can you talk a little bit about a couple of your current players that you might be able to target and say that you're looking for big improvements going into 2012?
Sure. We took Baron Grube, who was a defensive end for us last year, and we moved him to tight end. He's a 6'5", 255-pound tight end that can run. We feel like he's going to be able to help us in the run game. He's a strong, physical kid. We're expecting big things from him on our offensive side of the ball, not only in the run game, but also in the pass game, catching the ball, and those types of things. Defensively, again, Tim Taylor is a standout player for us, but we also expect big things from Marshawn Hainsworth, who will be a senior at defensive back, playing strong safety. We expect better play and bigger things from Chris Tursky, who's a defensive tackle for us. Could be a very good football player for us. And then some of our really young guys, Taylor Fink will be starting this year at tailback for us. And Cody McClellan came in last year as a freshman, did some very nice things as a freshman, getting playing time at the defensive end spot. He could be a difference maker for us this year, and a guy that could step his game up and really help us.
Coach, last question. What are some characteristics from last year's team that you'd like to see carry over to 2012?
Well, I think that when you look at our last 2 seasons, nobody wants to go through the 2 seasons that we've just been through. And I think it's a credit to and a testament to our kids' character that they've persevered and they've stayed on. This is the first time since the 2007 season that we'll report to camp with more freshmen or more upperclassmen than freshmen, and we're just ecstatic about that. And this is the first year since 2007 where we've had the most seniors this year. So, you know, we're starting to turn the corner with our roster and those types of things. And, you know, our guys have persevered through some tough times, no doubt. And it's going to be that perseverance and their character that's going to help us, you know, start to turn the corner, win football games, make football games more competitive and close, and give ourselves the opportunity to come down the end of the wire in the fourth quarter and finish games off and finish with a better record than we have in the last 2 seasons.